She walked into the school hallway like any other day, quiet, graceful, and unnoticed by most, but her presence was far from ordinary. Aria Evans, the new girl in Ridgewood High, had a mysterious aura that cloaked her like a shadow, calm but unreadable, elegant but distant. No one really knew her, but that didn't stop the rumors from spreading. Every eye turned as she passed by in her simple jeans and a freshly bought pastel blue top, a gift from her older sister for her birthday just 2 days ago. It fit perfectly, the kind of top that made her feel beautiful without needing to say a word. But that feeling wouldn't last. In the sea of students, laughter echoed from behind, loud, fake, and sharp. The Elite Five were at it again. Ridgewood High's infamous gang of arrogant bullies, led by Chad Monroe, the quarterback with an ego bigger than his biceps, were bored, and when they were bored, someone always got hurt. Chad nudged his girlfriend Tiffany, smirking. Bet she got that top from a bargain bin, he said loudly, making sure Aria could hear. The others laughed, like obedient background noise, hungry for drama. Aria ignored them and kept walking, her silence irritating them more than any insult could. That's when it happened. In one sudden move, Chad stepped forward and yanked the back of Aria's new top. The fabric ripped like paper under pressure, the sound cruelly loud. Gasps filled the hallway. A tear. Not just in her top. In her dignity, her day, her heart. She froze. The world stopped. The laughter that followed was crueler than the act itself. Oops, Chad sneered, holding the ripped fabric like a trophy. Didn't mean to do that. Must have been too fragile. Like you. Cameras clicked. Phones recorded. The moment went viral before it was even over. But Aria didn't cry. She didn't scream. She didn't flinch. She turned slowly, calmly, and looked Chad in the eyes. It was the kind of look that made the hairs on your neck stand up, unreadable, focused, and quiet. The hallway fell into a strange silence, the kind that comes before a storm. Tiffany scoffed. Ah, you gonna cry now, new girl. But even she shifted uncomfortably under Aria's gaze. Something felt off. The tension in the air was electric, and the bullies could feel it but didn't understand why. Aria walked away without a word, the ripped top flapping behind her like a broken flag. But deep inside her, something ancient and fierce had stirred. She wasn't just some quiet transfer student. She had a past, a purpose, and a promise to never be a victim again. What no one knew, not even the teachers, was that Aria had spent years training in martial arts with her grandfather, a retired war veteran and one of the deadliest instructors in Okinawa. Discipline, control, precision, it was in her blood. She didn't use her skills for show. But now, they'd forced her hand. That night, Aria stood in front of the mirror, holding the torn top in her hands. Her sister had stitched it with care. She'd worn it with pride. And now it lay like a symbol of what they thought they could get away with. But tomorrow, everything would change. She didn't want revenge. She wanted respect. And she was going to earn it, in a way none of them would ever forget. The next morning, the school buzzed with anticipation. The video had already hit 30,000 views online. Hashtag Top Ripper was trending. Chad basked in the attention, flexing for every camera and joking about Aria being too soft for Ridgewood. He didn't see the trap he was walking into. Aria walked in wearing a plain black top. No colors. No softness. Just steel in her eyes and silence in her steps. This time, she didn't walk past them. She walked toward them. Chad laughed again, not sensing the danger. Back for round 2, sweetheart, he jeered. But before anyone could react, Aria pivoted. One moment he was smiling. The next, her body moved like lightning. Her elbow flew through the air like a blade. In a perfect spinning motion, trained, rehearsed, flawless, she delivered a flying elbow straight into Chad's chest. The impact was sickening. Chad crashed onto the lockers with a thunderous thud. The laughter died instantly. Screams erupted. Phones flew into the air. Tiffany shrieked. Chad groaned, wind knocked out of him, eyes wide in disbelief as he slid down to the floor like a rag doll. Aria didn't speak. She didn't need to. Her presence roared louder than any insult. She looked down at Chad, still clutching his chest, and said softly, "Don't ever touch me, or anyone else, again." Security rushed in. Teachers screamed. But students, they stared. Not with fear, but with awe. Someone had stood up to Ridgewood's cruel kings and queens. And she wasn't afraid. By the time Arya was escorted to the principal's office, she was a legend. But the real story had just begun.